It's happened again, yet another senseless mass shooting in America. Overnight in Seattle, at least 5 people were shot and injured in a grocery store parking lot. Police say dozens and dozens of rounds were fired. The Gun Violence Archive estimates that there have been 410 mass shootings so far in the year 2023. A mass shooting being defined here as 4 or more people injured or killed in an incident, excluding the shooter. But that doesn't include suicides, murders, or accidental gun deaths. Despite this crisis of gun violence across our United States, the GOP majority in Congress has shown no real momentum toward more sensible gun control legislation. It's already been 1 year since Congress passed that bipartisan bill, which enhanced background checks for young gun buyers and closed some purchasing loopholes. So we're forced to ask the same question over and over again. What will it take to inspire real change? Joining me now, Fred Guttenberg, the father of Jamie Guttenberg, who was killed in the Parkland shooting in February of 2018. He's the co-author of the book American Carnage, Shattering the Myths That Fuel Gun Violence, and that book is out now. Fred, I know that you've taken a little bit of a sabbatical from doing interviews, and I'm so honored that your kind of first one out of that sabbatical would be with me. Let's start with this. Time magazine analyzed the states with the highest rate of mass shootings per capita from 2014 to 2022 and found that several are in the South. No big surprise to you, I'm sure. You know, there's red states there, but you have still some blue states. We actually have states like Illinois that are there. You know, a lot of red states are making it easier for anyone to get a gun, Florida included, our state here, with permitless carry that just got passed in the DeSantis administration. I mean, what does it say about gun culture in the United States?
Well, what it says about gun culture in the United States is that we've been on the wrong path now for about 30 years because it wasn't always this way. And it's one of the things we talk about in the book. The United States, historically, has always been a country with gun owners who respected gun safety. That started to change right around 1980 when the NRA shifted gears to align with the gun lobby to increase sales, and they engaged in a whole lot of new political stuff. And the first real big change in legislation on gun laws happened in 2005 with Stand Your Ground right here in Parkland.
Marion Hammer from the NRA, she was pushing Jeb Bush, who was the governor at the time, to pass Stand Your Ground. I remember that.
But I tell you this because it's not like the United States has always been this way. We have a 20 to 25 year problem in this country. As you know, my daughter 2 weeks ago turned 20.
Yeah.
20 years ago in the United States, there were 200 million weapons. Today, 20 years later, over 400 million.
Wow.
20 years ago in the United States, AR-15s were less than 2% of all guns sold. Today, 25% of all guns sold. We have a 20-year problem in the United States because we gave a lobby and a political class the ability to have this say in our public safety, and it's been deadly. And we can fix this, but we better vote.
Fred, let's talk about something that hits painfully close to home for you. Next week, some lawmakers are going to go with Jared Moskowitz from Florida. He's a congressman that's up there, and they're going to walk the halls of the building at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School where your daughter was murdered back in 2018. And you actually tweeted the following. You said, thank you to him, as well as fellow MSD parent Matt Schachter, who was on my show a week ago. And you said, quote, I do hope members of Congress, both Republican and Democrat, take you up on this offer. Whether you are focused on school safety or on reducing gun violence, we hope you attend. Is this what it takes, Fred? Does it take members of Congress to have to see the carnage and the bloodshed and what's left over for them to change their minds?
Yeah, listen, and I'm really pleased to see Mario Diaz-Balart, a Republican, is joining Jared on this. And this whole effort began on your show a couple of weeks ago with Max, when he said he'd love to see members of Congress do this. And it happened once before. Right after the Parkland shooting, Jared led a delegation of legislators from Tallahassee to tour that building within a couple of days of the shooting. It is, I believe, the reason we passed gun safety legislation here in Florida. And what Max was saying, and I'm thrilled that Jared and Mario Diaz-Balart are joining him in leading the effort, is this. It doesn't matter where you stand on the issue of guns, and also what your beliefs are and how much we can or could do on school safety, come walk the school. Come see it. Don't take your positions of Republican and Democrat or this. Come walk the school. Look at the war zone. Look at the blood. Look at the bullet holes. Look at where the kids sat. Look at the stairwell where my daughter lied. With 1 second, she could have been turning to the stairwell, but she was killed. Come see it. And then let's talk about it after that, because I suspect you're going to have a different point of view.
Do you have any idea the response that's been received about doing that? Do you know about how many congressmen or congresswomen are going to be coming down for that, do you think?
We're still collecting RSVPs. It's really getting organized under a very short notice.
Sure.
And many of them already had their August plans because they're in recess. So I don't have a final tally yet.
Gotcha. Well, you know, you mentioned a couple of minutes ago that very important law in Florida that was passed in 2018. Actually, the governor was Republican at the time. That was Rick Scott.
Yeah.
And that law, though, is being challenged, and it's been up in the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. And then there's another case that the Supreme Court has taken up.
Yeah.
That's a federal law that bans people that have domestic violence injunctions from being able to possess firearms. Yep. I mean, what does it say, though, Fred, that through all of the work you're doing for common sense gun legislation and all of your efforts to do that, they're constantly being challenged in a judicial system where you've got courts that are allowing more and more liberal obtaining of guns?
Listen, the NRA has been thoroughly weakened politically, but they've invested a whole lot in lawsuits. And the legacy of the NRA right now is showing up in these lawsuits, and it shows why they put so much money and effort into electing certain people, including the former president, and why this Supreme Court mattered so much to them. So here's what it says to me. America, vote. You mentioned permitless carry in Florida.
Yeah.
Listen, the current person who leads this state, and he is who he is. And as part of that bill, they actually reduced the penalty on anyone caught on a school campus with a gun from a felony to a misdemeanor. Okay, they made it easier to commit an act of gun violence as part of that bill, because that's who they are. And so I would just say to you this. In the 24 election, we have a choice. I heard you talking about President Biden before, who I've spent time with recently and who is just doing one amazing thing after another. So I will say this. In the 24 election, you better vote. Vote for those who want to reduce gun violence. Vote for those who hold your values on choice and voting rights and other important things. Don't worry about falling in love with a candidate. Don't worry about a perfect candidate, but you better vote. 80% of America says we agree we can do more to reduce gun violence. That includes Republicans. That includes gun owners. If you want to reduce gun violence, if you want to be part of stopping the next one, show up and vote on November 24. Sitting home won't solve the problem.
As always, Fred, my heart to you, your family, especially as we have just passed a few days ago, the 20th birthday of what it would have been the 20th birthday for Jamie. I always say this, and I'll say it again. As the mother of an 8-year-old girl, there's never a bigger gift that you can give than your advocacy and what you do. You are making my world safer and the community and everything safer for my little girl and children out there. I appreciate you, Fred. As always,
Katie.
thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.